Football is finally here. We've been waiting 46 years for its triumphant return, and it has finally arrived. Rachel has been put through the ringer this offseason. Lost love, found love, and everything in between, if you know what I mean.
What? Sorry.
Mohan is still wearing his footy pajamas.
Justin, what is? What are you doing?
This is weird. Why?
What do you mean everything in between? What is that even supposed to mean?
No, it's just like
No, I don't.
Football season and
No, I don't get what you're
bench
saying.
bachelor.
Also, why? That was mean what you said about Mohan.
Yeah, that was really mean.
What?
He hasn't worn footy pajamas
There's nothing wrong with
for
footy.
a while now.
Is that something mean? I mean, everyone likes footy pajamas, don't they?
Who wrote that? Did you write that?
Maybe.
I'll start the show.
I
That
just
was
wanted
weird.
to start the show.
That was
I
uncomfortable.
wanted to be excited for football.
We'll start the show.
Okay, sorry.
And when I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Well, we're on to Cincinnati.
It's my team. It's my quarterback.
They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Hello? You play to win the game.
They want you to cook the dinner. At least they ought to let you shop for some of the groceries.
And on the way up, we're going to buy the kneecap off.
You kidding me? Playoffs?
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
How can you not be romantic about football, man?
Let's go. Let's go. I am so fired up. I even put on a nice shirt today. I did walk in with a different one, and somebody said, maybe you should get changed. And I went downstairs and I picked something out real nice because it is the start of the season. We are there. We are here. Look at these new graphics. We have new graphics. This looks very cool, very official. We have lights, camera, action, all of the things. Boys, Mohan, Justin, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. If you can't see the graphics and the lights, it's probably because you're listening to the podcast.
Oh, yeah, about that.
So that's okay. There's also a video version of this show.
And this is a good reminder for you to watch that video.
You should listen to the podcast and watch the video show and be a true supporter of Benched with Bonnetta.
There you go. Mohan, you look, from the look on your face, I'm looking at your face in the monitor, you look fired up. This is the most excited I've ever seen you.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, guys, we have got a jam-packed show. We've got our very first guest of the season, Patrick Claybon. He is a genius. He is up and coming. He is thriving. He's got comedic chops like you've never heard. He's going to be on the show breaking down the top storylines of the season. We've got our Pick Six segment, which I'm going to go over. I'm going to talk about my favorite games this weekend of week one. We're going to pick some scores. We're going to talk about some storylines. And we are going to do best and worst thing that I've heard all week long. It has been a long week. I was in studio for 13 hours yesterday, and that means that football is back, baby. This is big. This is our first guest of the 2022 NFL season, baby. Welcome in to the podcast, Patrick Claybon, everybody.
Oh my gosh. This is in this brand new studio. I can't believe it. It's finally here. Rachel, we're making content together for people.
I remember the first time that we worked together. We didn't even really work together. We were sitting beside each other, getting our makeup done at the draft. And I looked over. We weren't even having a conversation. And I was on my phone, and you were like making notes. And I just looked over at you, and I was like, Patrick, you're really funny. And you were like, you're funny too. And I was like, why haven't we done anything together?
Let's make stuff.
Let's make some funnies together.
And here we are.
And I'm so excited to announce this is not the only thing that we are doing. You are joining Game Day View on NFL Network this whole season.
The whole time.
Congratulations.
I get to sit there with you guys. Thank you. And it's like I sit in the corner and you do all the heavy lifting, and I just get to. I don't even know how this has happened. I feel like I won some sort of contest. Am I being pumped?
Well, you have to work with Greg every single week too.
Yeah,
so
that's tough.
we'll get into that.
Yeah, this guy.
But you are usually a host. You're in my position most of the time. So what does it feel like to kind of like sit elsewhere?
It's freeing.
Yeah?
It's like being out of the matrix. Like I feel plugged in now. If I lose my IFB, which behind the curtain, that's the thing in the ear that people in the movies like for some reason make very obvious.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like we see that.
Yeah.
But on TV, it's very important for the host to have that. But when you're doing all the work, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm just kind of here. And if Rachel says something, I can respond.
It's
and
great.
I can literally strike Greg, which we try not to do. But
is
sometimes
that why they separated you two?
Yeah.
I think you're sitting beside Cynthia. Now I'm sitting beside Greg.
Yes.
So good news is I could strike Greg.
You are the
I
official Greg Stryker for 2022.
Let's talk about this crew. It's going to be me, you, Cynthia Freeland, Greg Rosenthal every single Friday, and I think it's like all over the weekend. You guys can watch it a bunch of different times. You have been friends and have worked with Greg for much longer than I have. He's not here right now.
Okay.
What do I need to know about this guy?
What
are the secrets that old Greg is hiding?
The secret to Greg Rosenthal is if you have to shade him, wait till you're on air to do it.
Okay.
Because there's very little that he can actually do. If you do it off the air.
Because it's a small.
Yeah.
He's teeny tiny?
Well, he has so many connections. Right? He literally built Roto-World brick by brick with his bare hands. If you run afoul of the Rosenthal matrix in football in general, it's going to come back and bite you.
Okay, so you're saying don't mess with him.
Don't mess with him unless you are in a position to see how he would retaliate. Because when he can, like, little finger, like behind, he gets his little birds going, it'll put you in a situation. So,
Greg Rosenthal's little finger? That scares me. Yeah, I will say there's been a couple of times I've like thrown him some shade on air live, and he throws it right back so fast, and I was like, I immediately regret that. I look so dumb.
And then he'll remember it too.
He'll pull
you will
things.
Forget, and he'll. Rachel, it was week 3.
Totally.
And you said this, and you were wrong.
Okay, let's talk about a little bit of football. We've got week 1 has started. Thursday Night Football's already happened, but we've got a bunch of games to look forward to this week. Now, usually at the top of this show, we talk about like storylines that are happening in the week. You know, is Tom Brady getting a divorce? All of those things. But I kind of want to look ahead to the entire season and talk about the top 5 storylines that I feel like are very important going into week 1 and the rest of the season. So I'm going to tee you up and we can just kind of talk about both of these things, or all of these things. Okay, so coming in at number 5, I ranked them. And you also tell me if you disagree, if somebody's got to be higher. Just overall, Tom Brady's mental health, his well-being. He's 45. He is going through some things, okay? We saw him in that press conference.
He literally said it.
He's going through he said something else, but he said he's going through some stuff. I'm 30. We're all going through some stuff, but like you could tell by the look on his face, he's like really going through it. The bags. I don't think I've ever seen Tom Brady with bags under his eyes. He's the kind of guy that's got frozen spoons in his freezer. You know, he's always looking right. What do you think that this guy is going to look like this season? I kind of feel like he's going to be like, football is all I have right now.
Yes.
And I am going to prove to you all why I came out of retirement. I'm going to prove to Giselle why I still need to be out here. I just feel like there's a lot more on the line for him this year. What do you think?
I think Tom Brady is different than everybody else.
Yep.
Everybody else can go through things. Tom Brady's experienced an entire lifetime of things, but this is the thing he was put on earth to do.
Yes.
I worry about the rest of the team, Tristan Wirfs. I worry about the offensive line, the injuries up front. But the answer to your actual question, the number 5, is Tom Brady getting a divorce? It's a no. I think financially, it's too.
Love prevails.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's just.
Or money prevails.
They're too ingrained.
Yeah.
I think there are all those years where it's like Tom Brady's taking a pay cut to help the Patriots.
Yeah.
I think maybe. Things were working out financially for Tom and Giselle.
Yeah.
And I think the marriage is strong.
And football-wise?
The team is not as strong as Tom Brady's a fit. Like, there was the whole crypto situation. Like, I think that was a problem.
Yeah.
But once the football comes and it's Tom Brady throwing it to people, it's Tom Brady. Like, I'm done. I've been saying, like, it's going to fall apart for 12 years.
I know, me too. Why haven't we ever learned our lesson?
Because we're stubborn.
Ew. I would call myself dumb. You can be stubborn. I'm just dumb.
I'm both.
Okay, coming in at number 4. Will Aaron Rodgers win a 3rd MVP? Back to back, baby.
It's very hard to do.
He did some things in the offseason.
Tatted up.
He's got some tats. He went to Machu Picchu. He did some things. Okay. And I feel like he is, working on his. It's crazy because I have just been writing a sketch with Aaron Rodgers, and I went back and looked at all of his in-season interviews and just like interviews of him and how he was speaking. He was very like blunt and like a very serious voice and monotone. And then I went back and watched the most recent Pat McAfee interview when he's talking about his offseason, what he did on his offseason. And he is just so much. He's just so zen. and he's so calm and confident in who he is, and his hair is beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
His hair is his skin is flawless. He just looks like he's in a really good place. And obviously he lost Devontae in this offseason, and like who knows what that is going to look like, but what do you think? Is Aaron Rodgers going to win his third MVP back-to-back?
It's just
fourth MVP, but back-to-back.
It's so hard to do, especially when quarterbacks are going to put up huge numbers, and you kind of need Devontae to put up some of the numbers that he's been putting up. And so I think the Packers will be good, much like Tom Brady, despite all the change, all the different vibes in the offseason, the way he's approaching interviews, the way he talks about his teammates. Once you're on that field, he's still going to be Aaron Rodgers. But the outcomes for the Packers are going to be a little different. They're going to have to do things a little differently, especially when we look at the way things went against the 49ers in the playoffs. I think they're going to run the ball a lot. I think Aaron Jones is going to get a lot of targets. They're going to have to feel out the wide receiver situations. But as far as 12, he's going to be 12. He's going to do some weird stuff. He's going to have some odd interviews. He's going to say some things where we're all like, whoa, why would you ask him that question?
Why are you showing your feet on camera, sir? A lot of those.
We don't want to see feet. It's like a whole timeline of feet, but still 12. It's just hard to win 3 MVPs.
Where does he go? So obviously you are a big host in the Fantasy Live every single day, every single week throughout the season. I'm sure you're in how many fantasy teams?
6 right now.
6.
I keep it low, like Rankin and Marcus and Florio. They're in like 12 leagues. Like Cynthia, everybody wants Cynthia Freeland in their fantasy league.
Of course.
Why? Because they want to lose.
I watched her draft a team last night, and she was just easily like eating pizza. Like
she actually does it telepathically. It's just,
oh yeah, she's a G. But where would you put Aaron Rodgers? Like, are you going after Aaron Rodgers when it's time to pick
no,
a quarterback?
I'm with and people like Jamie Erdahl saw Florio's quarterback rankings on Good Morning Football. She's like, what? Aaron Rodgers at 13? I'm
13.
I'm with my. There's just so many quarterbacks where the offense has to run through them.
Yes.
Right, running and passing, and Aaron is going to hand the ball off more this season. And as far as the down the field targets, Aaron Rodgers is not a huge risk taker.
Yeah.
He's an exceedingly accurate quarterback, but if it's not there, Aaron's going to throw the ball away.
Yeah.
I think it's just hard for him to get in that top 5, top 6 quarterback.
I'm just
position.
so curious to see what this team is going to look like, what he is going to look like. He just looked so mellow and so like confident in himself and just feeling good. So I'm really excited to see what the Packers look like. Okay, number 3, just an overarching look at what the heck the Arizona Cardinals are going to do. What is their identity? Who are they going to be? You got 3 major storylines going into the season. Obviously, everything going on with Kyler. I don't even want to get into it. There was so much stuff. Okay, you've got a major weirdness happening. You got D-Hop out for 6 games, right? That is going to weigh heavily on them. They've got in-season Hard Knocks, which I'm just tying to D-Hop because that's going to be interesting to watch. And then, like, Cliff has the weight of the world kind of. Like, does he keep his job if they struggle?
He just got the extension. It seems like all the things coming into the offseason, it's like, what's going to happen with Arizona? Ultimately, the answer was, hey, we're chill. Like, hey, cool. We said a lot of stuff. We went through some things. But
our quarterback loves Call of Duty.
You're good. Hey, get your gamer tag, Kyler.
Who cares?
Yeah, like get on the sticks, Kyler.
Okay, so do you think that they're going to be good?
I do think they will be good. Yeah. There's been these back-to-back seasons where it's been late season collapse. Of course, that coincides with losing Nuke Hopkins late in the year. But they're just going to get better. And, of course, the division has some real competition.
Yep.
But it's as far as the quality of the team, because wins and losses, who knows, the ball could bounce either way. I think the team is going to be better.
Yeah.
I think Kyler trusts Cliff more, and I think Cliff trusts Kyler more. There was an incident where Kyler is calling the plays, and they asked Cliff, like, why are you doing this? Like, to show him this, it's not so hard, and that's not so easy.
Yeah.
And then they go and score back-to-back touchdowns. And so I think it's healing. It's all about reunion and love and trust.
Okay, I'm into that, but there is a teeny tiny part of me, and if there's any Cardinals personnel listening to this podcast, turn it off right now. There's a teeny tiny part of me that wants to see them struggle a little bit out of the gate. I just want Kyler to grow up a little bit. I want him to just be like, oh, okay, I got to put the controller down and actually watch tape and be a good little boy. I don't know where that came from. I want the Cardinals to struggle a little bit. I just have a little bit of adversity off the top, and then I think that go on through your season and be great.
As a weirdo journalist, I just have the request.
Yeah.
When it comes to Kyler and maturity or whatever it is that people say the thing. What's the thing that he's doing? I just want to know, like, what's the thing? Like, is it from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock?
You mean just be honest about like what's going on?
Yeah, like what's happening?
Yeah.
If you're a shadowy Cardinals figure and you're like, our quarterback's not trying hard. Well, what's he doing instead? That's all I'm looking for is when whoever's sourcing this stuff, if you get it, like, ask for some context.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's all I want. I just want to know.
I just want to know what's going on.
Rachel, you just love drama. You want to see the drama. That's okay. It's more exciting. It's more entertaining.
You of being messy.
Yes, I like messy, though, because it gives us stuff to talk about every single week. Like, every single week we come on television and we have to talk storylines. I want juicy storylines. I don't want to just talk stats all the time. Who's listening to stats from this girl anyways? Okay, number 2. Okay, do you think power rankings so far so good?
Yeah,
5, 4, 3?
I'm right there with you.
Number 2, we've talked about this way too many times on this show. I don't want to get dark, okay, but I gotta say the Browns drama comes in at number 2. I don't want to give it the number 1, even though it's probably the number 1 in my world. I don't want to give it the number 1. We've been talking about this for way too long. Their win total is 8.5, from what I saw on some things. 8.5. That was kind of crazy to me. I mean, I know they obviously have an incredibly talented team. You got Nick Chubb, you got Myles Garrett, you got all of these great players. You got Jacoby Brissett. What do you think? 8.5.
I think it makes sense. It makes sense to me because this team was able to do what they did last year with essentially half of a quarterback.
Yes.
And it was, you wonder what was the deal with Case Keenum, because Baker literally couldn't do things with both of his arms that normal humans should be able to do, and he was playing football. And so it's like, at what point do you put your backup quarterback in? Either way, that's over. Of course, the giant cloud hanging over the team in the way that they facilitate a conversation around sexual violence, which everybody should be able to facilitate a conversation, but they're kind of struggling with that. Not just kind of, they absolutely are. And so it is drama. It's still a good team, and the Haslams honestly have put everybody in a situation where they have to tiptoe. If there's an answer for any of this, it has to come from the top.
Yeah.
And until that happens, what's everybody else supposed to do?
Okay, I'm going to double this. On the other side, you have Baker. And Carolina, he just came out with these, like, oh, the shirts are
they
just...
are super cringe.
Guys, they're so... Mohan, we were big Browns. We love Baker. You got to admit. Tell me to my face. They're bad.
I like them.
Oh,
Put him in jail.
Off the leash. It's not like Baker's sitting there with a whiteboard coming up with these slogans.
You don't think so?
No,
you don't think he had any involvement?
I think he has people who do it for him that know his personality.
He's gotta approve them.
Of course he'll approve them. But he didn't come up with
and was like,
yeah, that's awesome. Off the leash. It's like I was previously attached via cable, but now I'm free.
What do you want the shirts to say? I'm not good at football?
I don't know. Wow.
Just something fun and good.
Yeah,
Bake
off
it
the
up.
leash.
You're already out on Baker? What happened?
No,
now?
I'm saying I approve of this
You
message.
don't think he's good at football anymore?
No, I didn't say that.
I
I'm saying what would you
literally just did. You heard that too, right?
Yeah, he says the man's off the leash.
Mohan's just slowly, week by week, showing us all who he is. So it's just good to know.
Wow.
It's just good to know. But what do you think on that side of the table? How does Baker come out of this? Do you think he wins week 1?
I honestly don't. I'm just gonna need to see it. Rich. I'm just gonna need to see it. I'm taking the Browns because it's been too often, right? I saw Andrew Luck hold his shoulder, try to come back and say, you know what, I'm done with football. I saw Cam Newton have the biggest arm I've ever seen and then completely fall apart after shoulder surgery. I'm just going to need to see Baker do it and do it at a high level before I just start believing. It's really hard because we talk about fantasy. It's like DJ Moore is a great player and we've been wanting to have a quarterback, and it's like, yeah, now that Baker's there, I need to see it first. I need eyes on it. It's like Tom Brady retiring. I need him to be sitting next to me.
I need to see him
say
sipping a pina colada on a beach. Okay, and then number 1. Ooh. This is just like this is kind of, I'm like spreading myself thin around the league here. Are the teams we think are going to be good? And I'm talking Dolphins with Tua and Tyreek. I'm talking Chiefs without Tyreek. I'm talking Rams. Can Stafford hold up? Chargers. Basically, my question is, do you think that this league that we are heading into, the season that we are heading into, we've got some big surprises ahead of us?
I think all of these teams are going to be good. There's a but. And but is that randomness plays such a huge part in how all these things play out. We talk about the AFC West all the time, like, oh my gosh, these quarterbacks, everything's going to be amazing. They can't all possibly win every game.
All win, exactly.
But when one of these really good teams doesn't make the playoffs, of course, the way we look at sports, it's like, oh, you're bad.
Yeah.
You're bad and you did everything wrong.
Yeah.
Like the Bengals had no chance to win the Super Bowl because Aaron Donald was going to get that sack every time. But these things aren't predetermined. Like, we play the games for a reason. They're all going to be good, but everybody can't win.
I think that we are about to have the most exciting postseason that we have experienced in a really long time. There are just so many high caliber teams that are kind of like the NFC is like anybody's game. The AFC is completely stacked. I'm just very excited for football because football is back.
Football's back. We got these flyers in the office today. I forget what they said, but it was very. Oh my gosh! Does anybody know what those flyers said?
What were the flyers? I didn't see them.
It was like a flag, and it's like, it's good to have football or something.
That's gonna make me cry.
I need them.
I needed football.
Or maybe
back in
the
my
phrase
life
I just thought of is better
badly.
than the one we actually got. But yes.
Maybe you should make the flyers next year.
Somebody call me.
Patrick, thank you so much for coming on this podcast. Please come back whenever you want, whenever you are free. And then please watch our show this Friday, Game Day View, baby.
The premiere.
It's a new cast, a new attitude, and Greg is still the worst.
Sometimes.
Look at your neighbor and say, secure the bag.
Hey, welcome back. It's time for Pick 6 presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. We are picking our 6 favorite games from the upcoming slate. These are the games we are most excited about for week 1. And I'm going to go through some of these. The boys are going to make their picks. It's going to be a real good time. Maybe just if you're in the car, just talk to yourself. I'm going to pick this because of that. You can feel like you're a part of the group, you know? That'd be fun for you. Okay, game 1 that I'm looking forward to is, I think this is obvious, Browns at Carolina. Carolina is favored by 1.5. This is a tough one because I feel like there's a lot of like revenge on both sides. We're gonna get to the best worst thing that I've heard all week, and a lot of it is the Browns and Baker just going back and forth, and I love it because I love drama. I am going Carolina, and I'm going 23-20. I think it is going to be a very close game. But it's just mostly because I want this to happen. I don't know if it is going to happen. Obviously, we've talked about the Browns are so talented. Baker, what is he going to look like healthy? Because he was so unhealthy last year. He's got those terrible shirts. What do you guys think? Mo, I'm really curious who you're picking.
I like what you're doing. You're speaking it into existence.
Yeah.
I'm also going to ride with my guy Baker. And I think he's going to come out with a win. Get a little revenge.
Graver?
I'm actually picking the Browns. I hate everything they did this offseason. Obviously, I don't support anything about acquiring Deshaun Watson and paying him so much money.
Sure.
However, Deshaun Watson's not there for 11 games, and you've talked about feeling for the other guys on that roster, the Myles Garretts, Nick Chubbs, Denzel Ward, all the talented players they have. The entire world is rooting against them for something that their front office did.
You're not wrong.
They don't even have Deshaun Watson around to like worry about that bad juju right now. They probably have a pretty strong our backs against the wall, us against everyone mentality. Plus, they know the revenge aspect from Baker. Like, they're going to want to get revenge, too. I don't trust Matt Rule as a head coach, either. So, I'm gonna pick the Browns.
There's nothing, the facts. All facts, I see no lies. I just can't bring myself to do that.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's too much. I need to speak it into existence that Baker's going to ball out and that team's going to do well.
I totally understand. But looking at Carolina as a team compared to what the Browns were, I mean,
you're not wrong.
I don't know.
The Browns haven't won a week 1 game in, 17 consecutive?
What do you say?
Yeah. I'm saying the streak, you could look at it either way. The streak will continue or they're due for a win. The streak will continue.
Too much, their back is too against the wall. It's too much pressure for them to handle. Okay, game number 2 that I'm really looking forward to is Patriots at Dolphins. The Dolphins are favored by 3.5. This is so interesting because the Dolphins are Bill Belichick's kryptonite for some reason. Every single time he plays this team in Miami, it just never goes well for him. I don't know what goes on. But I'm going with the Patriots here. I have them winning 14-10, nothing crazy. The Patriots defense last season was so good. They held their opponents to like 10 points for 7 games straight.
Wow.
Like, they were solid. I don't know what's going on with the play calling, and I know there was a lot of like off-season drama. We don't know who's calling whatever. I don't know what's going on with that, but also I want Tua to marinate for like a second. Like, I need to see that. I need to see what the Tua Tyreek situation is going to look like. They obviously have a new head coach who I love. I love Tua. I just want to see it. I guess this is just a factor of me thinking that I just trust Bill Belichick a little bit more in this situation. What do you guys like?
I love Mike McDaniel. I think he's
the
hilarious.
best.
I think he's going to bring good energy into that club. The Dolphins are the fastest team in the league.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
They're favored by 3.5.
I do too. I don't know if they win this game by 3.5. I feel like I would pick them to win by a field goal, but I do like the Dolphins to win.
We should do, so we're going to do these picks every single week, right? There's got to be
I'll track it.
Somebody,
I'll track it.
We gotta come up with something in this next week that like the biggest loser of the week has to do something like drink a whole jar of pickle juice. I'd be
or eat Spam.
I love Spam.
Oh.
That would not be that.
I like pickle juice.
Actually, give that to me if I win. You know what I mean? Okay, game number 3, Raiders at Chargers. I'm going Raiders 27-23, and I know that is very controversial because the Chargers are my team. The Chargers are my team, baby.
Is this a reverse jinx?
Sure. But I actually do think the Raiders are going to win because I love the Raiders. The Chargers are obviously very exciting. I picked them for a reason. They've got a very hot offense. And then you got the Raiders with also a very hot offense. You've got Devontae Adams. You've got Josh McDaniels, who is there. He's not going to, he's been given this opportunity before and he's gone back to the Patriots, right? He's got to have faith that this team is going to do something special for him to leave the Patriots and become a head coach again. I want to see an exciting game again, like we saw going into overtime last year. It was a madness. That was one of my favorite games of the postseason.
Season, right before the postseason.
Thank you. That was my favorite game of the season, or one of them. I'm going Raiders. I feel like they went through so much last year. They've got to be super close. Raiders, what do you like?
I'm going the Chargers.
Ooh. I like the Raiders too.
Yeah.
I've picked Devontae Adams on like 5 fantasy teams now. I've been drafting him ahead of Jamar Chase. Like I really feel like this Raiders team is going to be exciting.
I think this Raiders team is going to be very, very exciting.
And they're underdogs in this game. I know they're on the road,
Chargers
but
favored
like
by 3.5.
Are they really on the road? There's a lot of Los Angeles Raiders fans still, like Raiders fans in LA.
Yeah, it's exactly. That's a good point. Game 4, Chiefs at Cardinals. Cardinals are a big underdog here.
This is a surprisingly
Chiefs are
big
favored
number.
by 6.
Yeah.
Almost a full. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. This one is maybe the most interesting to me out of the bunch because Chiefs, obviously everyone's like, well, Patrick Mahomes doesn't have Tyreek Hill anymore. He's a crazy player. He makes that offense what that offense is. They don't seem to think that it's going to make a difference. Obviously, what else would they say? So I'm really interested to see what they look like. And then you have the Cardinals who, we talked about it earlier in the show. They've been a kind of a complete mess this whole offseason. They don't have DeAndre Hopkins. Kyler Murray, who knows what he's going to look like. I am going Chiefs 32-21, like kind of a bigger gap.
Wow.
What do you think? You were surprised that they were a big favorite.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs will win this game, but something that the sports books do a lot is they put the Chiefs number really big because they know people want to bet on the Chiefs. So sometimes they exaggerate that number a bit. And I think the Chiefs will win this game. They could win this game by a touchdown. But I don't know. I might pick the Cardinals to only lose by like 4 or something.
Oh, what are you going with?
I'm going Chiefs blowout.
Chiefs
Mahomes
blowout.
revenge.
Let's
Gotta
go,
come
baby.
out hot.
Travis Kelce, come on.
Yeah.
Come on now. Let's go. Okay, game number 5, Bucs at Cowboys. Sunday night football. Like we were talking again earlier, so this is all Brady has. Football's all Brady has. The Cowboys faced the Bucs to open the 2021 season. Dallas defense didn't log a single sack of Tom Brady last season. Also, Mike McCarthy came out and said, we're not going to sit here and try to play chess with Tom Brady. We're focused on the basics and playing our game. Don't you kind of have to play chess with Tom Brady?
Yeah.
You
can't be playing checkers with Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's playing chess against you.
Yeah,
so
honey.
You going to sit down at the table or what?
What are you going to play? Go fish?
Uno.
No. Uno? No.
No, I don't think so.
That being said, Cowboys do have some really exciting pieces on defense. I think that this is a closer game, but I'm still just like we were saying, we've doubted Brady for so many years. Until he's gone, I'm going Bucs. Mohan, what are you going?
I'm going to go with the Bucs too.
What are you going, Graber?
I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Let's go. Okay.
Because all this stuff you're talking about, Tom Brady, like our number 5 storyline, well, is the distraction too much for Brady, or is it so much that it causes him to focus even more on football?
I think it's that.
I think this Bucs offensive line has some real weak points, and Micah Parsons is going to look like a star edge rusher this weekend.
Yeah.
Or this is Sunday night football. This
Sunday
is a big
night
game.
football, baby.
You can't go against Brady until you're proven.
I think I was reading that a lot of pieces from Brady's offensive line are also gone too.
Yeah.
Like they had 3 Pro Bowlers last season, and now they're all either
from Cowboys, you mean?
I thought it was from the Bucs.
From the Bucs too, yeah. The Cowboys have like 3 future Hall of Famers, but one of them is 40-year-old Jason Peters. One of them is Tyron Smith, who's out till December, and the other one is right guard Zach Martin, who, I mean, he's a great player, but right guard is probably the least important position on the offensive line. But yeah, the Bucs have a lot of offensive line turnover. I don't know. I feel like this could be one of those years where the Bucs start out a little shaky and then get it together, kind of like they did in Brady's first season there. New head coach. Brady's been gone during training camp. Like, they could start slow. I'm taking the Cowboys.
We'll see. You know, if Brady doesn't play well, it's going to be. He's in for a rough few weeks. Because all of us are going to be like, what does it mean? Should he have stayed retired? Like, he's got so many. And that's also a whole whack of pressure that he's got. Like, if he doesn't win that game or doesn't play as the Tom Brady that we all know and love, he's going to have so many questions on Monday.
Plus, like, is Chris Godwin ready? They don't know if he's ready to go, really. He's coming off that torn ACL.
Yeah, I don't
Julio
envy
Jones,
him.
is he healthy? Like, give me the Cowboys.
Okay, final game, Game 6, Broncos at Seahawks. I love this game. It is one of my favorites. I got to go Broncos. Okay, I have high hopes for Jerry Jeudy this season. Apparently, he's been attending all of the team quarterback meetings, which I thought was kind of interesting. I want to see this guy go off. I want to see Russell Wilson go off. The Seahawks, they have Geno Smith. I have nothing that good to say about the Seahawks. I'm going Broncos. What do you guys go?
I think the Broncos are going to win, but I think it's going to be a lot closer.
You think it's going to be close?
Yeah, I think Pete Carroll's going to make it a little interesting down the stretch.
Okay.
This is crazy to me that the Broncos are on the road and are favored by 6.5 points. Like, how often do you see a home team as a 6.5 point underdog? I do think it'll be closer than 6.5 points.
A home team that's in Seattle, by the way, which is like one of the craziest home field advantages. That place is so loud. I'm pretty sure they're either number 1 or number 2 in like the decibel levels that place gets to.
Them in Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's Russ's first game back. Like,
Russ's
be
first
crazy
game
there.
back is what I think is cooking this number up so much because they want people.
It's the dramatics. It's the flair.
I don't know. I think the Broncos
baby.
definitely win, but maybe by like a field goal.
Not by a lot.
Not by this. Like, the Seahawks are a team that's going to slow down the game with a lot of like, they're going to run the ball. They're going to play Pete Carroll defense. They're going to make this game fewer possessions, so the Broncos just aren't going to have as many chances to drive up the score.
This might be their Super Bowl for the.
Oh, this game.
Yeah, it's the Seahawks Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If they win this game and they lose out, it's really not the end of the
Same
world.
as what we were just talking about with Josh McDaniels. Is like Pete Carroll's like in his 70s. Like, why come back unless you actually feel obviously he's in great shape and it's Pete Carroll. But why are you still in this if you just lost your star quarterback? Like, there's still something for you to prove. You know what I mean?
And definitely something to prove. Now he wants to say, I was right, Russ was wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, there's like a Bill Tom kind of situation.
Exactly.
Woo! So many great storylines for week 1. Okay, so those are the games that we are most excited about. Let us know which ones that you're pumped. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? Tell us. We'll ignore you. It'll be so fun. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code DK1 for a special offer when you sign up. Okay, we are going to go to break. After we come back, we are going to do best and worst things that we heard this week, and there are so many gems, so stick around for that. Don't go anywhere.
He's the best.
All right, time to talk about the... Oh, my God. I think we got to keep this in. I just smoked an entire pack of cigarettes on that break. It's time to talk about the best and the worst things that we heard all week long, and there are some juicy, juicy things in here, okay? Let's start with the best. Let's start with some really just grade A drama between Baker and the Browns. First, we start with Nick Chubb. He was asked about what he expects from Baker in week 1, and this is what he said.
We all know Baker, so I don't know what to expect.
Okay. See what you're saying. Baker responded with this.
A big hug from Nicholas Chubb would be a really, really good gift. Just to hear him say a word would also be nice.
Yeah, he's the quiet, silent type.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the thing that he does. I love this. Do you guys think there's a little bit like a facetiousness going? Like, I don't know if this is real. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if Nick meant that as big of a snub as he just seems like such a decent guy.
Yeah, he's a
quiet
like you said,
guy. Doesn't want
quiet.
to cause drama. I think what he was alluding to was just like, it's Baker. Like, who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking that he was saying like, who knows where he's gonna throw because he's so like not accurate, or you know what I mean?
They're making something out of nothing.
We're making something out of nothing, and then going back to Baker, I think that that's a funny joke about Nick. Because he doesn't.
Baker's feels more lighthearted, but Nick's also, I think, was just taken as not lighthearted when it was meant to be.
I know this is very unlike me because I'm gonna I'm the one that's blowing these things out of proportion. I do love the back and forth, but I think it's more playful. Like, there's no reason for Baker and Nick to not like each other.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for Baker and you know what I mean. No one, the players. It's none of anybody's fault.
Right.
I like that he called him Nicholas too.
Nicholas, and that's another thing. Yeah. Like, if he was being serious, I think he would have just like not even said his name, but he called him Nicholas. I love it. It kind of makes me a little bit happy to see that these guys are still getting along.
But sad that they're not together.
But
that's a whole nother
because
thing.
that was quite the duo. Okay, and then the worst thing. Let's just make this quick. Baker's merch is terrible. Mohan loves it. Did you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy it.
You did. You already did, didn't you? You swiped that credit card.
No, I just don't think Off the Leash is a horrible thing for him.
But it's like one night only. Like, it's just so
the graphic,
it's so chuggy.
It's the graphic element of it is too much, and also Off the Leash is way too like dog pound reference.
It is just so on the nose.
Yeah,
it is so on the nose. Would I wear it ironically next week if somebody sent one to me? Yes. Actually, I'm going to order those right now. We're all wearing them on the show next week.
Okay, deal.
If Baker wins, I am ordering those ASAP.
Okay, deal.
Okay, and we all got to wear them.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll put it on the production budget.
There you go. Okay, guys, that is our show. Enjoy all of the football. I know I will. I am not going to. Oh, my goodness. My call time got moved up for this year. I have to be in hair and makeup at 5 a.m. every single Sunday. Ooh. So while you guys are all nestled into your cozy little beds, just know I am going to be pounding coffee, getting ready for our morning show. Game day morning, you can catch me on that. Game day view, you can catch me on that. That's Fridays. I'm so excited to watch football. I'm so excited for it to be back. Good times ahead. Don't forget to subscribe to the show. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at @benched_pod to see the videos and clips we talk about each week with your own eyes. Come and look at our beautiful studio. We just got all brand new logos and graphics, and Mohan's got jerseys behind him. There's some real things happening. And also tune in next week so you can see us potentially wearing these awful Baker shirts.
Great Baker shirts.
Great Baker shirts. Send them to us, somebody, please. Okay, guys. Happy football. Love yas. Woo!